Welcome to the Release Your Blocks podcast. I am your host, Victoria Bond. I am a spiritual empowerment coach. I help teach others to show up to their potency so they can fulfill their mission here on earth. I'm so glad you are here. And if you are interested in becoming a medium, if you're interested in becoming a life coach, or if you're interested in shifting your life from the 3D to live more in the 5D reality, then check me out, book a clarity call, and let's get chatting. Hey guys, I'm Victoria Bond and welcome to Release Your Blocks. Before we get into today's episode, I just have an announcement. My Magnificent Mediumship program is now launched. This is starting on January the 11th, 2021. I have been guided by my guides and by my spirit team that now is the time to shift energetically and spiritually. Now is the time to evolve and to become more conscious and to spread this with our gifts. So if you are interested in joining Magnificent Mediumship, I have a special offer for you. Until the 11th of December, I have an early bird special. So check the notes, book in a call, check out the website, www.halohealing.nz, to see if you are a fit for Magnificent Mediumship, and I'll love to connect with you soon.
Okay, guys. So, my truth, your truth. What is the fucking truth? I'm sick of playing small. I'm sick of trying to figure out the structure and trying to figure out the mind fucks and what is going on with the world, with the politics and with the children that are coming in with so much autism and ADHD and OCD and all these different things. But what if there was nothing wrong with any of it? And what if all we had to do was come back into ourselves and glow ourselves up? I am a human being right now. I'm experiencing this, but I'm a being. I'm so much fucking larger than this body. And so are you. So my past does not matter. What planet I come from doesn't fucking matter. My intergenerational line of hiding our gifts and making things wrong and making sure that we align with heaven instead of hell or purgatory, all of that stuff, it just simply does not matter anymore. There is a couple of things that matter. And the first one is you are here right now. You are here on purpose. You have a mission. So I'm going to answer some questions. I've written the questions that people ask me and I'm going to answer them because otherwise I'll just riff the whole time because I can riff for like 10 hours straight. So that's actually my superpower. What is a spiritual up level, an awakening? What is this? So signs that you are awakening. So you are remembering who you are at the core, at the cellular level, at the DNA level. You are remembering who you are, not who mum and dad was and what your upbringing was. They're memories that come from this human experience, but you are remembering exactly who you are. And this is not a mind thing. This is a being thing. This is a heart thing. You will experience deja vu. I'm having like sales calls all the time, like these calls to see if people want to work with me on a deeper level. I start freaking out because I'm like, I know you, this is deja vu. And it happens when you're walking down the street or you meet someone, you're like, I know you. And then, they're in your life. We experience deja vu because that there is a sign. It's a sign, oh, this is the right track. It's like a little echo from the gods. You're on track. Yes, you could have experienced it in a past life. Yes, you could be in another dimension experiencing the same thing. Maybe you're aligning with all of that. It doesn't really matter. What matters is it is a sign. The other thing is meeting new people, events happening, feeling a lot more. For me, my empathic abilities were so heightened I could not leave my bedroom most of the time. I could feel everybody's feelings. I could see things that they couldn't see. I had spirit. Spirit became a lot more real in my reality than the human beings. Therefore, I knew I had to do something because I'm here for a reason. I'm a human being. If you're not respecting the human being, then you're missing the point. I know it's painful sometimes. I know if you're here, you probably experience a little bit of pain and probably a whole lot of joy as well. And that is because you are super sensitive. This is like a portal. This body is like a portal, right? So you may start feeling a lot more. So your empath abilities are just out the gate. Your psychic abilities are out the gate. Now, change happens. And what happens? One of the problems that actually happens is people do not like change. They feel change. And I'm going to share this with you today. Why we run back into that hole and go, no, I'm not doing it. It's too scary. I'm not fucking doing it. I understand. And you guys have probably done that already in this life. I know I have. I know it's a pretty big deal for me to come out here and tell you this woo-woo spiritual stuff. It's certainly 5 years ago when I really saw this happening in my future. It took me 5 years to have the balls to actually go, guys, this is the downloads I'm getting. What the fuck is a spiritual awakening? And how can you start aligning with that? So as you can tell, I'm very spiritual. I mean, not very spiritual. I'm very passionate about this. So your mindset starts changing. Your thoughts start changing. Your body starts changing. Your sleep patterns start changing. What else starts changing? Your energy changes. You start feeling bigger. Who the hell starts feeling bigger? I feel really big right now. I feel as big as the room. And I know that I'm Victoria, the being, the one who's speaking right now, is just a tiny, tiny, tiny part of what is being channeled through here, because this is so much bigger than me. I am just a spokesperson, and this is my purpose, is to share this stuff and to get you guys sharing it. So you might start getting interested in your past history. You may start getting interested in human behavior and start watching how humans are acting and going, that is really interesting, because this shit is not how I think. You may start getting interested in your family history. What was really happening in this consciousness growth through this intergenerational line? You may start getting interested in planets and star seeds and the moon phases and all these different things. You may just start going, this stuff is fascinating. Crystals and oils and frequency. These things aren't woo-woo. These are all signs of spiritual up-leveling and awakening. So what is your purpose? This is another one of the questions, okay? Actually, going back to the spiritual awakening thing, for instance, just some examples. I'm now gluten intolerant, cannot eat it at all. I get sick. I can't have more than 2 wines without having a tremendous hangover. I have to drink low alcoholic wine, and after 1, I'm like, okay, I'm done. After 2, I'm like, whoa, my body cannot process. This is not because I'm getting old. I'm 37, I used to drink 2 bowls of wine a night. I used to drink. And if you've ever had a drinking problem, and we're going to talk about addiction a little bit down the track, then that is because you were trying to make yourself smaller when you are so big. Addiction is a massive thing we're going to talk about today. So from 2 bowls of wine, 7 years later, or 8 or 9 years later, to 1 glass of wine, from having a loaf of bread a day to not being able to eat it at all. My sleep patterns are different. I'm just like a different person. My friends say to me, you are like a different person. I'm like, I know, but they still are my friends and they still love me because that's how they remember me as a child, which we're going to get deep into children as well. So what is my purpose? People come to me with my Relationship Blocks program, with my Relationship Blocks practitioner program, I've got a new program that has just been released. It's on my website, and they say to me, I don't know what my fucking purpose is. And I'm like, it's okay. And this is why I'm doing this. Your purpose is to align with you. It is to remember and then to take action that feels light and expansive for you. You're trying to figure it out with your head. Now, if you're in my programs or if you've worked with me, you know I say this a lot. When we try to figure out with our head, you're not going to be living from this massive space of alignment or abundance or joy, because you're trying to figure out, you can't try to figure out how to have joy. If you're a child, you just go be joy. So why as adults, we're trying to go, okay, I have clients that come to me saying, I don't know what joy is or what fun is. When was the last time you just ripped off your clothes and went and had sex? Or just went, fuck it, I'm going to take the day off. When was the last time you were just like, oh my God, screw the housework, kids. Let's just go lie on the grass and look at ants. Crazy little things is how we align. This is how we be. This is how we do. This is how we live our life's purpose, not from this highly intelligent brain. So we're going to talk about limitations and mistaken beliefs very shortly. But your purpose is to be, is to follow the energy, is to find, if you don't know what it is, what actually helps you feel enlightened. It might be lying on the grass looking at ants. Honestly, I look at a leaf and I'm like, whoa, that helps me to align. Not on drugs, not drunk, just looking at the leaf. I will go to a tree and look at the bark and look at the insects and go, whoa. I'm not having to have a massive sales month. That doesn't do the same thing. I don't have to be successful in this or successful in this. I just have to just start being and go, and look at your hand, like looking at your hand and seeing all the lines and like noticing the body and coming back to presence, coming back to yourself rather than going into the head of what is next, what is next, what is next, what is next. It's more about what is now, because it's all within you, all of it. And I'm going to get to the point of how we can do this as well. So you will know what your purpose is when you stumble across it. I knew amongst the trauma of wanting to die, the trauma of having 2 beautiful children, a beautiful husband, a beautiful family, and still wanting to die. I was like, there's something not right here. There's something not right. And I was like, I'm seeing spirit more. And I'm not talking about seeing. So we're going to talk about this as well. I'm not talking about seeing with my eyes. I'm talking about spirit because I trust my energy. So yesterday I had spirit with me all day. That's why I wasn't with humans. I was with spirit. I wasn't even with my family a lot. I was with spirit. They were in my dreams. They were around. There's photos popping out. There's smells coming here. There's this and all these different things. And I was with spirit. The light beings are here right now coming through me. If I think about that, I will be like, hey, look, can you take me to the doctor? I think I'm fucking crazy. But you don't think about that, because you think about that, you'll convince yourself that you are crazy, which I'm going to talk about as well. So what is the point? What is the point of going through these spiritual awakenings? Yes, mine was painful. It was a massive big smack in the face. Like, it was just like, doctor, give me pills. Some of you will do it slower. Some of you will just have hit after hit after hit after hit. It's not going to stop hitting unless you decide that it can be easier. It doesn't have to be hard. So what is the purpose? What is the point? The point is to become more conscious. The point is to expand your awareness because you are more conscious. The point is not to go into judgment of all the other unconscious people or anti-conscious people. The point is to be the energetic invitation for them to rise with you. I have seen this over and over and over again. One of my sisters, they used to think I was crazy like a few years ago, and now they're doing readings. Now they clear spirits. People that join my programs, Release Your Blocks, they come in and they go, we just want to work on my mindset, and they start seeing spirit. They start getting all these things that I was talking about. They start remembering who they are. I see it time after time after time after time. I was the energetic invitation, and that is exactly what you are. We are all unique. We are all special. We are here on purpose. So more consciousness allows awareness and the collective energy to shift, inviting others to awaken as well. Now, this is really important. You are a part of this. You are a massive part of this. And everyone around you, if they're not choosing, it's not your job to go down into the hole with them. It's your job to keep rising, and they will rise too. Unapologetically being you, without the mind, without the thought, but with that expansion, and then leaning back and trusting. Now, I'm going to talk about this as well, because I am so sick of seeing myself going backwards all the time. Well, I'm not now, but I was going backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? And I'm so sick of other people going, oh, I just don't know. I just don't know. Oh, I don't want to leave my husband behind. I don't want to leave all these people behind. This is my life. They're going to come. They're going to come with you. This is the beauty about changing and shifting. And I was trying not to cry all morning, because I know whoever hears this, or, whoever requires to hear it, will have these massive shifts in their life, because being in this energetic container could be enough. It really could. Okay, so what is the point? What is the point of all of this? So we've talked about your purpose. We've talked about the point of consciousness, but what is the point for you? You know, because just going, I'm doing it for the collective, it isn't enough, okay? Like, I've got my reasons, my whys, which are very, very deep, very, very, very strong, and very much why I'm going to go into the light and dark of this. Because as a spiritual empowerment coach, I'm here to teach mediumship and alignment and downloading integration and getting your businesses up there, getting your holistic businesses out to the world, because that is what really, really brings me joy. But what is in it for you, the human? What is in it? So if I told you, and if you truly believed, okay, first of all, I'm being told to go back a step. What is light and expansive is a yes. What is heavy and contracted is a no. If you don't know your light and heavies, figure it out, because you're functioning from your head and not consciousness. Straight up. I function completely from, I'm doing this. No, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. No, I'm not. That's how I function, not from my head. Because if my head was telling me what to do, it would say, don't do this, Victoria, do not do this. Don't go talking about this stuff. Like, seriously, go stick to a business plan, do this, do that, do this, grow your programs, and then do this. And I don't give a fuck about my programs. I care about people waking up and aligning. And if my programs align with them, then come on in. You know what I mean? So what is in this for you? You have a job to do. You know it. Every single one of you. If you say no, then totally sweet. If you get a no, I'm not here. Maybe you're here for actually a totally other conscious reason. That could be really fun to find out. But you have a job to do. You have a purpose here. You know that. That's definitely 100% true. There is a mission. You have a mission. You are remembering the mission. I know my mission. And I'm open for it to change and shift at any time. Because if it's heavy, I won't do it. If this was heavy, I would have cancelled it today, like straight up. But I've been downloading for 24 hours and not being human. So here I am finally speaking. I haven't really spoken for 24 hours. You are here exactly right now. If you're in here and you probably can't hear what I'm saying, or maybe you can, it doesn't matter. You're here exactly for a reason right at this very second, and also in this life. 2020. You have been through coronavirus. We have been through fires. We have human trafficking. We have racism. We have pain. We have a whole lot of fucking hideous stuff that is happening right now. Why are you here? You are here to make a difference, and I'm cutting all the bullshit. I've got pins and needles, I've got spikes like a bloody cat who's just hit a fright. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. Cut the bullshit of the mindset and start the fucking doing. All of you know, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to go so kick-ass mean on you. But you guys need to hear this. And whoever does hear this and resonates with it, and they go, I'm here to help, then let's do this together. It is time. It is time. You are here on purpose. Now, will you all choose consciousness? Will you all choose to have awakenings, even though you're doing the work? Will you all choose it? No, you're not all going to fucking choose it. Absolutely not. People are going to come into my Release Your Blocks program, my mediumship program, my practitioner program, and maybe I don't know, I've had a pretty good rate so far, but maybe 70-80% of people will really thrive. Maybe others will go, thank you so much. I got what I needed. See you later after a few weeks. I have no judgment on that, but what I do know is some people will only take what they can handle. Some people will like the comfort of feeling solid, of feeling the separation, of feeling the attachment of what it is to be human, rather than stepping into the 5D and letting yourself fall. You know those dreams that you have and you fall off the cliff? I used to have those dreams all the time. I was losing control. I was falling. Then I'd be like, and I'd wake up. I was losing control. Now, when I have those dreams, I fall, and go, oh yeah, I can fucking fly. And I start flying. I have dreams that I was underwater drowning. And now I have dreams that when in the dream I go, that's right, I can breathe underwater. The amount of dreams I have where I'm breathing underwater, because this is my fucking dream. My life, your life, And we all have a different purpose because we all have a different gift. But we are all here for the same mission right now on earth. Now, I know this can sound really woo-woo, and that's why I haven't been talking about it, but I've been guided, and at 4:44 a.m., I now know my exact mission, and I can't be quiet anymore. I can't do it. I will show you the steps and strategies to do these things that you need to do, but the biggest thing and the biggest gift I can give you is to get out of your fucking head and come into your heart. And I'm going to show you how you can keep aligning with all of these things. Okay, so why won't people choose this? Because they get a taste of it and they go, oh, that was exciting. Oh, that's enough now. Holy shit, I don't want to completely lose control of who I am. Jeez, who will I be? And they don't want to lose connection with their husbands. Do you know the amount of people that come into my programs and go, oh my God, my husband's got resistance. And I'm like, that's okay. Keep choosing for you, keep choosing for you, keep choosing for you. At the end of the 12 weeks, whatever, they're like, you know what? We've got such a fucking great relationship now. Or they might say our relationship is ending. There's no right or wrong, but you have to choose for you. Massive, massive change happens when you choose for you and not just those around you. So people will fall back into their old patterns because they feel the alignment, they feel the expansion. They're like, oh, no, hang on. I forgot, I'm human. I better come back and make myself solid again. I better function from judgment, because what will happen if I don't function from judgment? If I don't function from that, what if I lose all of my morals? What if I lose who I am? You don't. You just become more of who you are. That is the truth. So you may stop growing because you don't want to upset loved ones or lose connection. No one wants to lose friends. No one wants to lose their partner. No one wants to lean back and let their growing children choose for themselves and make mistakes. No one wants to let go of the control that they work so damn hard to create, in alignment or agreement of their family or society or the collective. No one wants to do that because it doesn't make sense. But none of this makes sense. The fact that light beings and spirit are coming through me and talking to you and my hands are like, meh, doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me. It might make sense to you, but it does not make sense to the world. If I went and jumped on the news now and said, hey guys, I want to tell you all something. This is all the fucking matrix. Everybody, listen up. Drop everything. We're all going to meditate for 1 minute. Breathe in, breathe out. You are all a channel of lightness, and like, they'd be like, put her in the loony bin. Like, and you know, so this brings me to the whole conditioning, the mistaken beliefs, the motives, the lies, the agendas that everybody is functioning from. Now, I get that everyone that's on here has done some personal development work. I get that you have probably been, this is probably like your 10th millionth life as a healer or a medium or whatever it is, a connector, whatever your gift is. And the interesting thing about that is you're still hiding. You're still not turning up your potency. You're still not doing it. Why? Because as a little child, you were told to shush. You were told to be quiet. You were told to listen. You were told to get in your room if you were actually expressing your emotions. And like, we can't blame the adults. We do that with our own children. We don't know what to fucking do. So we just do what we know. We do our very, very best. But a lot of us, if not all of us, are taught what separation is between the clever and the dumb, between the fast and the slow, between the male and the female, between the old and the young. Have respect for your elders. Have respect, listen to what they say. Why are we not listening to these children? Why are we not asking them what they know and to tell us what we require to know? Why are we not doing that? Because we have been told that that's not what reality is. So heaven and hell, I want you guys to tap into your light and heavy. When I say these words, and you know that light and expansive is a yes and heavy and contracted is a no. So when I say these words, what feelings do you get? Because this is what many of us, and certainly the collective energy is. You know, I was brought up Catholic, so this is from me. Like, it may resonate with you, may not. Heaven, truth or lie. Hell, sins, purgatory, spiritual new age woo-woo, evil, Stupid. Live, die, gone, death. To be psychic, you have to see spirit, or you have to be from a long line of woo-woo spiritual people to actually have these abilities. So these are some of the mistaken beliefs. Again, it's not real. It's just not real. Okay, so you basically fall back into these patterns and you may use secondary gain. I'm too busy. Oh, I don't have time for this. Secondary gain is a life coaching kind of model, which is all about not choosing. It is all about using excuses. So I'm going to ask you now, what excuses have you been using for not showing up to your spiritual awakening, your spiritual alignment, your spiritual empowerment? What excuses have you been using? People will tell you that you are crazy. You will tell you are crazy. If you allow yourself to download and really go within and glow that body up and say, I trust that I am guided. I trust my downloads. I am going to follow joy and expansion and fuck all the heavy solid shit. I'm not doing it. I'm choosing 5D reality. I talk about 5D and 3D to give you a little bit of an indication of, we're going to talk about that in a second, but I talk about that a lot because people come to me going, oh yes, I'm a this and I'm a this, I'm a spiritual coach and I'm a life coach and I'm a this and a this and a this and a this. And I'm like, yeah, cool, awesome. And then they're like, I can't expand. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. It's time to function from joy and expansion and awareness. That means not being solid. And I do it myself. I'm only human. I'm not going to be like a person who's saying that I'm fully enlightened because no one fucking ever is. It's not about having I had an enlightening or awakening, a lightning or whatever it's called. I don't know. I was brought up Catholic. So, when people go, they came out and they were just like, reborn type of thing. Cool as. That's awesome. Doesn't mean they're not going to grow. They're going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and experiencing resistance and chaos and flow and alignment and their head and resetting. But it's always about continuously resetting. And this is what I teach in the relational blocks. I teach people the limitations, the beliefs, and how to combat them by doing processes, the judgments, how to let go of all judgments of yourself, because if you are judging others, you're judging yourself, and vice versa. And emotional mastery, how to actually deal with that empath that's stuck in bed, that won't get out, or the psychic who feels fucking everything, because you guys are like that as well. You are qualified right now. I had to wait 5 years to feel qualified to speak this for you because I wanted to clear my whole slate and start again. I held myself back because I get my words mixed up sometimes. I don't like too much structure and strategy because I can download fast. I had points of view of what being a medium is. What is a psychic medium? What is being psychic mean? There's a difference between psychic and clairvoyant, okay? So I'm a psychic medium. I don't generally do future stuff because I've been told that I'm not really meant to. Sometimes it comes through so damn strong, I have to say something. But usually it's like, okay, there's 10 million different paths. What are you going to choose? A clairvoyant sees the future, sees it in images and all these different things. For me, I feel it, I know it, I be it, I channel it, I see it. Now, a lot of you might be like, what the fuck? I don't know how to do that. You have your own way of doing it. Sometimes you just know. I see in my head. My sister, she sees, she doesn't use her gifts because it scares the shit out of her, but she sees with her eyes. Imagine seeing a spirit as close, clear as I can see you. I think that would creep me out as well. I see the energy and the molecules kind of formate, and I can see the person in energy. And the reason why I can do this is because I allow myself to. I have dropped all fear of what entities and spirit and this and that and what all of these things mean. And I just allow myself to be. I trust myself enough to know that I'm working for the light side, if there is a light side. And I wanted to bring some of the darker stuff into, I do all this because I don't believe that there should be these rules of right and wrong, good and bad. There's some shit that's happening in the world. I get that, but I need all of you guys to energetically join me. Because the thing is, if you drop everything you know and you go, I don't know who the fuck I am, but this is my name, and I've got these children, and I've got this husband, and I've got this job, and whoa, what else is possible? And you let yourself fall, and you let yourself be guided for what feels light and expansive and sparkly, then you are living on purpose. So therefore you're living your mission. And it might be you're walking down the road and you're like lighting up the road as you go. It might be that you are a person, a connector like myself, where I connect people to people, and then people to people, and people to people, and then they all create these little connections. And I've always gone, why do I do that? Don't know. Maybe it's something happening, something in the scheme of things that is so much larger. The thing is, this is so much larger than our brains. But energetically, you can tap in and you click into it. And when you click into it, you download. One of my friends, she has had a massive shift in her business and her life, which isn't a surprise because so have I. So we all up level together. And she said, oh my God, I had to cancel my clients. I've got a cold. I'm in bed. She knows she's ascending. It's not really a cold. Her body is adjusting. And like I said at the beginning, your body will change. Your mindset will change. You'll feel larger, not so small. So we don't need to go out and share this with everybody. But if you go with your knowing and your being, you know what to say, when to say it. Your energy speaks louder than your words. It really, really does. So like I say, children, you are told, this is not your fault. You were told as a child to simmer down, to fit in. Okay, I've gone around for the last, until about a year ago, saying I'm perfectly average. I thought that was really clever saying I was perfectly average. And then I realized when I was completely bugging myself, and I was like, there's nothing average about me, like average at school maybe. But we are all extremely unique. And I just want to ask you a question right now. Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of showing up? Are you afraid of failure? Think about this for a minute. You're 2 years old or 18 months old. I think I took quite a while to start walking. I think I just sat there letting everyone come to me, give me things. Very princessy. But when we start walking, we don't think, hang on a minute. If you start walking, you might fall because you're going to be a bit wobbly on your feet. If you start walking, you're going to have to go further. You can't just, oh my God, you can start going for adventures around. You can actually leave this room and leave the house and start going on adventures, and something might get you. A dog could get you because you're little. The cat might scratch you. Oh my gosh, if you start walking, you might even hit your head because you're going to be wobbly. So why would a child start walking with all of those things that could happen to them? Like, why would they? They are conscious. They start walking and you encourage them, come on, I don't want to carry you forever, you're getting too heavy. But like, you know they've got to start walking. You know they've got to start walking. You had to start walking. You had to start talking. You have got the toolkit to be successful right now. You know how to count money. You know how to read. Like, we are so lucky we have been brought up in this world, and you know, some countries are not as lucky as we are, right? So it is our responsibility to show up. So you can talk, you can walk, you have a roof over your head, you have, no doubt, you've got food, you've got a fucking computer, you're sitting here right now talking to me, or a cell phone. I created my whole Release Your Blocks program on my cell phone because I wanted to. There's no excuses for not showing up. There is absolutely none. And that little child, if you said, look, there's way too many objectives, or objections, not to walk. So I would just probably stay there if I was you. I'll bring you your food and just don't walk. Like, it's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. When did you stop at walking and talking and you've learned, but then we finish school and go, oh, we don't need to do any more. That's it. It's time now. We're constantly growing. They say from 0 to 7, you have your massivest kind of growth. It's not real. We are constantly growing, constantly up leveling. They say when you die, you review your life. and you see the things that you did, the things you didn't, you get to choose whether you go to heaven, hell, or purgatory. That's one of the stories I've heard. But what if you could regrow, relearn, and die and reawaken over and over and over and over again in your life? I know multimillionaire coaches that are so highly awakened, and they literally will go and have a couple of days like I just did, bathing and purging. I've been like purging all last night, not literally throwing up, but I've been purging because I've been tapping into everybody. I can feel everything because I'm psychic as fuck. So are you. You're psychic as fuck too. And it may come about a different way for you. But if you didn't learn how to walk, you wouldn't have gone out on adventures. And maybe if you did know the things that could have happened to you, maybe you would have thought twice. But a baby is conscious. I was told we were born sinners. That is the biggest load of crap I have ever fucking heard. You are born perfect. You are born perfect. You are born so perfect that all of the DNA stuff that's coming through you from the intergenerational stuff has all been on point. So you can grow and up level. You've been through crap. You may have been abused. You may have been beaten up. You may have been through, like I did, like alcohol issues, addiction issues. You may have gone through all of these things. You might have had crappy parents. You may have been abandoned. You went through that all for a reason. And unfortunately, we don't go up there and go, hey, okay, I want that person to abuse me, that person to do that person, it doesn't work that way. You just know the lessons that you're to learn so you can awaken up. But it doesn't have to be hard. You can choose to start awakening and growing and lifting and up-leveling right now. You know your mission, you know your purpose because it's all deep within you. So guys, how do we stay spiritually aligned? I know that's one of your questions, right? And going back to the fear of failure, if you have a fear of failure, and you haven't started fucking trying, then you have already failed. Now, a very wise personal trainer told me that when I realized I was afraid of failing. She was, but you already are failing. And I was like, oh, thank you. Now I feel much better. So if you have a fear of failing, don't worry about it. If you haven't begun, sweet as, like there's nothing to fear. Fear is not real. You have been implanted with fear. You have been implanted and conditioned. How can you undo that? The way you do that is you decondition yourself. You do the unsexy work. You figure out what your body and mind actually desires and what you're spiritually aligned to. You might be from a completely different planet to me and your mission might be completely different. But we're all here for the same reason right now. And that is to be on earth. Shit is going to happen, guys. And I know because I've been told this, not by other people, but I get told this. Stuff is going to get real. Stuff is going to get real, which means we can't function from fear. We have to function from awareness and truth within ourselves. I know, like, I like Game of Thrones. I've got like one more thing to go. And what I love about Game of Thrones is they're like, we will die for our queen. We will die for our oaths and fealties and communities. And how many of us are holding on to that? So I'm going to do a clearing on that in a second. But I would die for this. Like this, not for the Zoom in particular, but I would die with this truth because it's so real to me. If I could have that space on TV and say, hey guys, anyone think I was crazy. But if I could have that moment to tell people in 1 minute what I've learned and what I know, and it's not what I've learned from other people, it's what I know to be true, I would die for that. That is how deep my why is. And I know that sounds pretty intense, but no, I never said I wasn't intense. Like I am an intense person. I tried to simmer it down. It doesn't work. That's why I throw the F-bombs out there. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to do a clearing statement and I'm going to use the access clearing statement, which is right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, which is help shift energy. So anywhere that you guys have been, anywhere that you've been aligning and agreeing and staying true to your contracts, your oaths, your vows, your fealties, and your communities from all the past lives, time, space, and dimensions, rather than choosing to be conscious within yourself, within your body, within your mission, will you please destroy and uncreate that all now? Good and bad, wrong and right, all nine shorts, pot and pop, boys and beyonds. You do not have to have contracts and commitments. You are awake. You are awake. If you could just acknowledge that you're awake and allow yourself to spiritually align, then you will awaken and awaken and awaken and awaken. You have nothing to lose. The past does not exist. Let go of the attachments. Cut them. Like I say to my husband, I do light language. Do you want to hear it? And he's like, no, I'm not quite ready to hear the light language. You're talking in tongues. And I'm like, I know. Totally crazy. But the scariest thing is now that I'm cutting all of those attachments of what I think is normal, it's not weird for me. None of this is weird for me. The way the world is working is weird for me. They're not all going to wake up. They're not. You have to know that. But it's choice, okay? So how do we stay spiritually aligned? You meditate a fucking lot. You meditate. Now, if you don't know how to meditate, it can be, you might be like me and do things really fast. Okay, so I meditated 3 hours. Was it yesterday? I went to sleep during the day. The whole time the kids were asleep, I was just asleep and I was talking to spirits in my sleep and stuff. Doesn't have to be like that. It can be 1 minute. I meditate for a minute. I'm like, done. And because time and space, collapse it down. There's no excuses. Meditate for 30 seconds, meditate for 20 minutes, do whatever you need to do. Meditate. Allow yourself to drop your barriers and to expand all the time and know that there's nothing to fear. If you see anything coming your way, literally, throw some light at it. It sounds crazy, but you create this, okay? So kids have the boogie monster and stuff. There's fear in the house and they have nightmares and stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me, child? I'll talk to them like an adult. I'll go, where's your wand? And I'll literally take my wand to their house when I used to do energy clearings. And I go, come on, white light, everybody out. Get out. This is my room. I'm the strongest entity in my reality. Those kids never get night terrors ever again because they're actually using their superpowers. So where are you not using yours? Don't think that fairies and angels and all of these different things are for children. They are real. My hands are glowing white right now because I can see it. That's why I try not to go like this because I feel like it's too intense because they are. And it's not a fairy tale. It's my truth. And if you think it's fairy tale, that's totally okay. You can. I don't care if I'm being judged. I really don't. But I know what's more fun. And that is seeing the proof in the pudding of when I use my spiritual abilities. That you guys are all, the truth is you're all getting a DNA up level right now because I've set all of these intentions right now, right here. Some people in my reality will drop off because I've just massively up leveled. Some of them will up level, but not everyone is going to follow you. If you feel like you're an outcast or you are different or you're here for a reason or you don't know what the fuck is going on and what your purpose is, but you're frustrated because you know there's something there, you're right. And it's not your fault that you've been conditioned to think that you're fucking crazy. It's not your fault that you think that you must do this by 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and then da-da-da. Because you know what? The rate we're going may not even get there. We need you guys to help save the planet. Now, this is where I'm starting to sound real woo-woo. How do you do that? You just be. And you find the closest thing to joy you can. Like I say, ripping off the clothes and having sex. And making sure all of your, you can't do that if you're not aligned because your chakras, I suppose if your root chakra is over, if it's overly active and that's not necessarily healthy or underactive, then, you may be oversexed or undersexed. But what does it mean to be completely aligned? It means chakra balancing, about aura cleansing, about knowing how to entity clear the entities out so you can up level and expand your energy so you can energetically hold more, see more, be more. The old spiritual kind of have protection is bullshit. And the reason why I know that is because I've experienced it. I had entity attack over and over and over again. I was attacked in my sleep, held down. I couldn't breathe. That hideous stuff. How many people have had entity attacks and nightmares? They don't have to be massively dramatic, but they're real. I don't anymore. I don't do protection. I do alignment. So DNA activations, shifting into the 5D means not being so solid. dropping. So in Release Your Blocks program, many of you have done it. We drop the limiting beliefs. So we use things like tapping and journaling, pot and pocking. So basically shifting the energy, dropping the judgments, knowing your emotional mastery, shifting, and empowering yourself to know you're not vain if you say you're incredible. Like seriously, how many people, if you go, hey mum, I'm fucking magic. I'm amazing, mum. You know, how many of our mums would go, calm down, you can't say that in this reality. If you say that in this reality, you will be disappointed because there's nothing really that special about you. You're my special little girl, but not to the rest of the world, okay? And by the way, you can't sing, so don't try to be that singer. I have no issues. I really thought I was a good singer. Anyway, now I know that my voice actually has a frequency which does healing. So it's a real shame because I could have really helped the whole world. Anyway, just to bring a little bit of light to it. So guys, what is enlightenment? It's not finding it here. It's not. It's being it. So being in joy while you're growing. So going back to the millionaire thing, the awakened millionaires, they go through the same thing all the time. But now they go, oh, an upgrade is coming, an up-leveling is coming. I wonder what's going to happen to my gifts. I wonder what, ooh, and they get excited. And then they give themselves the grace to align and give themselves whatever they need. In my case, mermaid baths, sleeping, being looked after. Like literally, that's what I do so I can show up. If I was in hustle all the time, oh my God, I would have a mental breakdown because I can't do it. I'm going to take the rest of the day off and go get Reiki, chill out, so then tonight I can work. That's what my reality looks like.
And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for joining the Release Your Blocks podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear from you. So please leave a review and tell me what your favorite takeaway from today was. There is so much more from where this came from. You can also find me at Holistic Energy Shifting on Facebook, where you can find more content, more coaching, and more guidance. Have a grand and glorious day, and I'll see you next time.